Друзья, добрый день.
Hello, dear friends. Today we are going interesting and lively conversation. There are companies which recently are known by everybody. There are companies which are legislators of fashion, which are on the advanced borderlines. Today we are going to speak with Maxim Postovoy, operational director from Positive Technologies. The company which, to my point of view, well, only lazy people are not speaking about it. You know, Maxim, at a certain moment of time, when there was a gap in sales, very serious investor came to me and they said, "We understand everything, but we precisely know," and it was in March, that this company will feel okay. They will have a lot of clients. Can we communicate with the guys? We would like to buy a share of this company. Well, I get in touch with your guys. And they said, we will think about it, we will look in this direction. And 1 month later, I've called them, okay, what about it, guys? And they said, you're so busy, you're so busy.
Пока я ответа не получил.
And I still didn't get an answer. Usually it happens when the company feels good and they don't need investors. Tell me honestly, do you need investors? Well, we do think about investors, and if you came to me, Evgeny, I think we would give you the answer and we would communicate with these respected people. But jokes are jokes, and honestly speaking, if you look at our employees, many of whom are shareholders of Positive, many of them they don't want to sell Positive Technologies shares, and some of them are buying even more shares from the market. It creates certain problems because we've been expecting that they will share with the market and they will sell some of their papers, but it happens that they're holding them. Even though the number of Positive shareholders have increased up to 45,000 from the initial 1,400 people. Which means, yes, we love our securities, we love our company, but we invite investors to become part, and right now we have 45,000 of them. Maxim, I have a principal question to you. I perfectly understand that operationally you have great results, and we're going to speak about them a little bit later. But in the principal level, recently you are on a cutting edge. There's a lot of cyber attacks. You're involved in RootTube, Salvation. You're saving a lot of different corporations. Salvation is a mutually beneficial activity. You protect somebody's business, and for you, it's a business. So I've looked at your indicators. You have significant growth of revenue, profitability of the business. You have reduced the debt of the company. Everything's great about you. And you are very expensive, and this is a normal trend. You are estimated according to proper multipliers. But I'll speak about it a little bit later. I have another question. What do you think? Everything that happens right now, is it some short-term trend or a hype, or this is what people just started understanding? If you're asking generally about cybersecurity market growth and number of clients who are caring about these topics, no, I would say this was worsened by February events, but the trend that companies been spending much more back in 2021 for the cybersecurity. So if we are going to look at our financial indicators and the growth of the business in the year 2020, 2 years ago, it has grown by 50%. So if previously budgets that have been spent by companies on average were, and it's a good indicator, 1% from total IT expenses, total IT costs in the year 2020, in the year 2021, right now everything's growing and the company spends 2, 3, 4, 5% from their IT budget for cybersecurity. So everybody understands that cybersecurity is a question of survivability of the business and things that we see this year. Yes, geopolitical events made the situation worse, but the fact that the growth of cybersecurity is much ahead of general IT market growth, both in Russia and abroad, we could see that a long time ago. Well, you remind me Europe, or those investors are reminding me Europe. Do you remember Americans have always been demanding invest more in military budget, invest more in military budget. They said why? And right now they're increasing their military budgets. Same thing, same situation. But we understand cybersecurity is one of the most powerful tools of influence. We understand everything, but I have another question. Let's think. We are businessmen.
Что самое главное?
And what is the most important thing for the business? Scalability. Okay, they are going to invest more and more, budgets are going to grow,
Прорыв.
but where's the breakthrough?
Чтобы стоили
I want you to be still cheap enough, well, compared to your breakthrough numbers, so that I would buy them. Can you convince me that irrespectively to high coefficients, which are justified, because these coefficients, they reflect your future development, they're not sufficiently big enough and you will cost even more expensive. What is the secret of your scalability? You're absolutely right. And a serious driver is the cybersecurity market growth, which grows faster in Russia than abroad. Because in the course of many years, in our Russian companies, private and state ministries and departments, we've been much behind from the point of view of cybersecurity investments behind the Western companies. You know, Western companies, they've been investing more in it. So Russian market grows 15 to 20% per year. This is our assessments in independent analytical agency assessments. And this year, this trend will continue. So the market is growing very fast, and Positive as a company number one on this market is a main beneficiary of it. The second driver, and this is a geopolitical story. Russian cybersecurity market is a market of products, services and products, but 80% of this market are products. And until recently, approximately 60%, according to our assessments, of Russian corporate spendings for cybersecurity in the area of products were products of Western companies, American, mostly, of course, Israeli, are direct competitors. So starting from the end of February, almost all big American and Western vendors are leaving Russian market. So this released volume, which on a step-by-step basis is dropping in the hands of Russian companies, is on a level of 80 billion rubles. 80 billion from 180 billion ruble total market. And they're falling out of the hands of foreign companies and they go in the hands of Russian cybersecurity companies. This is the second size. And the third topic, the third thing is that this is a question of technologies and visionary of positive technologies, because those products that we make, and especially the new class of meta products, is an absolutely different level of business. These are sales of not one separate solution in a certain niche. This could be a firewall and CM, but this is a resultative complex security, and these are our meta products, O2, which from the point of view of ticket and the volume of sales is significantly better than any average sale that we've been making. So our main vector is selling meta products, complex solutions, which include all our products under the hood. And O2 is a flagship, our main meta product. And from the sale of this solution in the Russian market and in the future abroad in friendly countries, this is a driver number 3 for such innovative growth. That's why I think that we have all the components for success, and this is what makes us believe that Positive will be much more expensive than today in the future. So I have the following question. You've been speaking about friendly countries. You know, the meaning of life of any man or business, as academician Sakharov said, is an expansion. Expansion.
Любой бизнес, он развивается. Вы сказали,
Any business is developing. You've been speaking about friendly countries, how powerfully you will go abroad with your products. And if it's not a secret, can you share with us? Because I understand competitors are not sleeping and maybe under the table they're listening to us, but in which direction will you move? You see, globally or geopolitically, because we should look at this context constantly. Cybersecurity is a question of sovereignty. Digital sovereignty of a separate company, industry, or a state. Geopolitically, the world is divided into 3 parts. It was always like that, but right now it's more acute, and this is something that we have in the Western bloc and companies, products which exist on that market. Then it's China with their own solutions and products which they don't sell to the external market. This is a closed system. And remaining world. Everything that we can cut away from geopolitical bloc of West and China, this is the market for which we might pretend with our products and solutions. And I make a lot of examples. It's a real example, but it reproduces itself every time. One of the companies, largest, biggest holding in Emirates, came to us recently with a request to sell our products to them. All of us. All of our products. The package from 15 products and solutions. And when we came to tune up these solutions, we could see that they use they use all solutions from American vendors. I asked them, why do you do that? They say, we don't trust anybody. And this is an answer to your question. Where's the market? The market is everywhere. All the countries which are not part of the influence of China or the Western United States. This is our market. And I believe that in the next 3 years, right now, our sales outside of Russia and CIS is 2%. I believe and I'm confident that sales in non-Russian and CIS countries will grow significantly in nearest years. And it's not going to be 2%, it's going to be dozens of percentages in the next 2-3 years. With the O2 class solutions, we will cover demands of not only one company, not only one holding, but the whole industry or even the country. Maxim, you've mentioned China, but you know these Chinese. You give them finger, they will cut away your hand. Aren't you afraid that they will actively copy some of your things and they will start their regular Chinese approach? Or maybe you faced things like this previously and you have your own solutions. Well, speaking about reproduction of some common products, technologies which can be materialized. Of course, China is known for copying and reproducing them, and basically this is IP and know-how theft. But when we speak about companies which manufacture software, what is the main asset of these companies? People, knowledge. And knowledge is owned by people. So I'm not afraid that one morning we will see that all our employing are sitting in the train and moving to China. We have very loyal and strong team. We don't have only a few people, 20 people have left to countries, and some of them are returning back. That's why I don't believe that China represents threat of stealing our intellectual potential. These are our people. They are with us, and we are with them. We had 1,200 people recently, a couple of months ago. Right now we have 1,300 people, and we still have 200 vacancies. We are growing. So today I'm reading mass media. The main problem in your sector, and it's developing, it's lack of specialists. Where do you find those talents? Well, I have the answer, and I will extend your question. How the industry lives with this, and how the clients live with this, and how IT companies live with it, especially positive technologies. Well, with positive technologies, everything's all right. Right now, irrespectively to the situation that many Western companies, Russian companies are helping for their employees to relocate, I mean IT specialists. Nevertheless, it's not being publicized. Many companies have left the market and left many of their employees. They've been basically fired, their IT specialists, even though some of them are very strong, technically strong. And many of them are coming to us. Not just people are coming to us, the big teams are coming to us. Star teams. It's not a secret. Intel has left Russia, and approximately 300 Intel employees stayed without a job. They've lost their job. So they come with the full teams and they say, okay, we are specialists in this area. We're technical developers. We want to work for you. So Positive today does not have any difficulties in searching for good stars. And we are growing. But answering your question, what about general situation in the industry? It's a big problem, especially in the area of cybersecurity employees, because on an annual basis in Russia, qualified employees in this discipline, I would say approximately 1,000 new ones are being trained, but the demand on the market, and I will speak about it during the session, about tens of thousands. So I don't believe that companies will be able to solve this problem of complex defense by hiring more and more people. There are no qualified people in the market. The solutions are in automation. The solution is in the products which will identify hackers instead of people. We'll stop attacks instead of people. So we'll play functions of cybersecurity intellectually with the usage of recent technologies automatically. Maxim, direct and specific question.
Ну, это вам просто повезло. Буквально
You are lucky. Just prior to you came to the stock exchange, and you came to the stock exchange without market maker, without anybody. You said, well, who wants to buy our shares? And people started buying your shares. It was a success, and you had a very good price with good multipliers, Western multipliers, and more expensive than many Western companies, because the market has compared you with other ones, and we made an assessment, and it was alongside with the market opinion. And what is really cool about it, yes, we understand that market has dropped and your exchange rates have returned, and your price is the same, and in dollar value you cost even more expensive, more than you cost before IPO. I'm speaking about public IPO. At the same time, you hire more people, which means for you this is a great tool of subsidizing those people, so you stimulate them. So I have the following question: are you going to increase free float? We do want to increase free float, but you see, free float is something that defines the value of the company. Free float should be sufficient to have sufficient liquidity so that larger investors would be able to enter and look at the securities. So yes, we would like to increase free float. However, our main objective is to increase liquidity, and so that more investors would pay attention to our papers, and this would influence even more positively to the cost of their shares, and as we believe, even more justified assessment of positive would happen. You have very non-standard policy in the area of dividends. I've been speaking with Yura and Maxim and say, Yura, why are you so generous? He said, we should give people opportunities. And you will continue being like that with your dividends? Definitely, we will. Just a second. So specifically, Tinkoff application. I understand that maybe I use my business position, and I'm telling to viewers, it's not a product placement. We are not agitating Evgeny. Well, just a second. I'm entering Tinkoff, and I see how much free money do I have. Okay, positive technologies. You're minus 1.8% today. It's a good chance to buy. So I want to buy you. Okay, let's do it. Right now. Yeah, at this moment of time, I don't see, but I think that our viewers, they can say that this is a serious intent. What do you say? So you're making it seriously? Yes, I'm making it seriously. So I've purchased with the current price. So I've convinced you that we are good investment tool. You don't have to convince me. I'm following you, but the problem is that the main question to me was what's going to happen with your dividends. You made a lot of money. You need to develop, and Yura says that if we want, we will borrow for the development, but we have to pay people. And you confirmed to me that you will pay dividends, good dividends, which means that you will keep the old strategy. I'm buying your shares. Not less than 50% of net profit, and this is something that we've done just recently. We've paid 950 millions for dividends, 50% of net profit of the last year. And previously, our policy have been published on our internet site. These are obligations to the market and investors. If the IT company is successful, we believe that it has to be profitable. So it's a philosophical question. We shouldn't argue. We are growing at the account of our own investments, at the account of our net profit. And after these investments, we have net profit on a very high level, 27% net profit margin, 50% at least we send for dividends. Well, you have great marginality, and it is growing. It's growing, and this is very cool. Okay, Maxim, thank you very much. Okay, I'm an invest banker. Yes or no? I've made my decision. Thank you very much. Thank you for interesting conversation. Thanks to our viewers, listeners. Thank you very much.